Assalamualaikum. My name is Wanzul Ashraf bin Wazagifli. I'm from 81103E, and this is my group mate, Nur Alia Fatihah binti Azman and Ahmad Iskandar bin Arshad. So today we're gonna present about soil fertility management and conservation practices in organic farming. So the content in our presentation today is gonna be introduction, objective, problem statement, soil fertility issue, solution in soil fertility, soil management and conservation practices, effects and benefits of practices to soil fertility, conclusion and recommendation. So for the introduction, um, soil, fertil- soil fertility management is to decide type of crop suitable for planting. As we know, different place in Malaysia has different types of soil. So we need to analyze different types of soil before start planting the crops. Next is to produce the quality of the crops and increase crop yield. So basically, there's a lot of soil-related information. For example, soil fertility status, acidity, and soil pH. This information can be used to increase the crop yield because each soil has a different fertility level. Besides, soil fertility management can maintain the fertility and nutrient content. The use of organic matter or agricultural lime is one of the conservation practices to maintain soil fertility and nutrient content. Last but not least, is to produce nutritious products such as that do not disrupt the natural balance. Organic farming can be applied to farmers' farms that do not use chemical fertilizers and pesticides. This will ensure the foods that farmers grow in their field is safe to eat and safe for the environment. Next is objective. The objective of soil fertility management is to use natural ingredients without chemical. Farmers in Malaysia need to apply free chemical products such as organic matter to their farm. This can help the environment retain their fertility such as soil. Next is to increase the fertility in the soil. The soil needs to be fertile because before start planting the crops to make sure they maximize the yield of the crops. If the soil is not fertile, it can affect the crops that farmers grow. Furthermore, soil fertility management helps in recycling agriculture waste. Agriculture waste can be used to make organic matter such as compost and it can be used back to the farm. Last but not least, it can control weeds and insects. The conservation practices can be applied to the farm and it can prevent weeds and pests by using organic herbicide or pesticide. Next is problem statement. So one of the problems in Malaysia is erosion. The temperature in Malaysia allows year-round development and there is the possibility of a rapid decline in inherent soil fertility through erosion and loss of nutrients. Next is low health and quality of the soil. The soil is too acidic and has a toxic density of aluminium, iron, and manganese, plus less organic matter that can cause damage to plant roots. Last but not least is the burning of agricultural waste. This will release greenhouse gases and harmful particles into the atmosphere. This practice is bad for the environment.
For the soil fertility issue, the first one is the soil infertile, and the second is the low acidity, and the third is the highly leach. And for fourth is the low water holding capacity, and the last one is the poor drainage. For the solution in the soil fertility issue, the first one is we go to the addition of the agriculture line, which is to helps to lower the acidity levels of the soil. Besides, it also decrease the manganese and iron levels and enhance the microbial activity, strengthens the root system and improve the structure of the plants. And next is by adding the organic matter such as organic compost to the farms. The organic matter makes the largest contribution to the productivity of the soils. It provides the soil with the nutrients, improve the water holding capacity and helps the soil maintain good yields and thus better aeration for the plant growth, and the soil organic matter promotes the granulation, increase the ability of cation exchange, which is the CAC, and is responsible for the soil absorption's power up. And last but not least is by using the effective microorganism to the soil, which is the effective microorganism, which is to contribute to the soil enrichment and reducing the need for the can, can continuously fertilization and cost of the cultivation, and it can also increase the soil fertility and encourage the crops growth, flowering, fruit growth, and ripening. And for the soil
For the most
and
part,
for
teruskan.
okay, next we go to the soil management and conservation practice. The first one is the organic fertilizer, which is available to maintain the nutrients and levels to continuous and balance, such as the chicken manure is the one of the effective economical organic fertilizer. Next is to optimize the efficiency of the fertilizer to proper nutrient management strategy and needs to be implemented, especially the timetable and fertilization rate. And the last one is to increase the ability of plants, which is to absorb the nutrients to obtain the high yields. The higher of the yields means the better absorptions and transfer of the nutrient from the soil to the plant planting.
For the most part, soil fertility management and conservation practice for the nutrient management are very important in soil management. Uniquely, soil is one of the most important factors in determining the production of high crop yield. Otherwise, water and soil conservation measure need to be implemented from the early stage of planting to obtain optimal yield. In other words, all knowledge relate to the soil fertility condition, soil type, soil fertility recovery, and help determine crop type, water management, and so on. Certainly, knowledge relate to crop nutrient needs, the ability to manage nutrient deficiency, and knowledge relate to the fertilizer and fertilization is essential in determining the actual yield and potential of an agriculture area. Significantly, this is because different soil fertility in each location require attention to soil fertility management, specific research and study. On the whole, to achieve maximum yield production, optimistic action in conservation practices in organic farming is very needed, owing to nutrient density in the soil need to be identified first to know the fertility condition of the soil and then benefit with efficient nutrient management. In the long run, the potential to create high soil fertility by maintaining nutrients condition through efficient fertilizer management practice. Sooner or later, tracing the big problem that has plagued the world for so long and environment pollution in the agriculture sector is also involved if this problem is not curbed immediately worsening. Moreover, this is closely related to the practice of the excessive and continuous use of the chemical fertilizer that cause damage to the soil structure and pollute water resource in agriculture area. Altogether, we should prefer to use organic fertilizer that are healthier and do not harm the soil resource. In the view of various benefit that can be given by organic fertilizer while making the crop more quality, it can also increase plant yield and even improve the texture and structure of the soil in agriculture area. For instance, organic fertilizer can decompose perfectly and have adequate nutrient content and can increase soil fertility, including tree growth and enlargement, as well as building the realization of tree root system. Most importantly, it is free from harmful chemical that can disease-carrying bacteria that can result in the expenses of other recovery costs. By large, different advantages can be shared in the discussion of organic farming, including healthier agriculture product, improved crop resistance to pests and disease, soil conservation, soil quality management, and air quality maintenance. Due to this, because calcium, protein, carbohydrate, and other vitamins, and even mineral are high in all good agriculture products. Although this may be true, organic fertilizer will help to improve the absorption of plant roots against insect and disease attack. Otherwise, with organic farming method, the soil is also fertile without pesticide. Additionally, this is promote the biological activity of the soil as well as the conservation and enhancement of the soil pH. Like in manner, the problem of water quality is also directly linked to agriculture area since the use of chemical fertilizer cause much of the water contamination. Regardless, not to be overlooked in the minimum carbon content in the air quality that can be produced in organic farming areas. Indeed, it is proven that organic farming lower greenhouse gas emission to a lower level than traditional farming. This is because no chemical nitrogen fertilizer that contain nitrogen oxide gas are used in the organic farming. For the recommendation, as can be seen, the soil fertility management and conservation practice in organic farming relate to the problem statement, germorphology, plantation, tree crop production, cover bust, upland area, temperature, low health and quality of the soil. Next is the soil fertility issue is low acidity, nutrient deficiency, lower potential for water holding, poor decomposition, and poor drainage. And to clarify, the solution in soil fertility issue is additional the agriculture line and organic matter like effective microorganism EM. To explain the soil management and conservation practices is to maintain nutrient and to optimize the efficiency of fertilizer use and to increase the ability of plant. To enumerate the effect and benefit of practices to soil fertility is to increase the consistency and productivity and to protect the soil from erosion problem. And lastly, for the conclusion is determine the production of high crop yield and to obtain optimal yield and to manage nutrient deficiency and to know the fertility soil condition.
Okay, that's all for our presentation today for soil fertility management and conservation practice in organic farming. Thank you.
Thank you.